Remember, athletes, it's about consistency first, then intensity. Transformation is about changing who we are through our habits. Your path to success, it's a journey. You are unstoppable. You are an athlete. Every day that we wake up able to enjoy the day with the health that we have is a gift. You know, the goal is to become 1% better every single day. Your workout is done and your results are there. Unleash that unstoppable force within you.
Welcome back, athlete. Today we've got a 6-minute killer full body workout using just an elastic band. So today's the day that you're gonna grab that elastic band or tubing from the basement, dust it off, and then put it into good use. Now, all you're going to need today is just your mat and then, of course, that elastic band or that elastic tubing. It is so important today that you have the right resistance, meaning that it doesn't feel too easy. And oftentimes when that's the case, we can adjust it a little bit to increase the resistance. But if you have a really thick elastic band or tubing today, it's going to make it challenging for you to keep up. And so really important that you have the right resistance today. Now, this one is going to be a killer, and it's a really great way to start to trick the body and give it a new demand so that you keep getting those results and keep tricking the body to adapt to something new. Now, here's how it's going to go down. We've got 6 different combinations that we're going to do together. We're going to work for 45 seconds and rest for 15 seconds. Now, I'm going to share with you your first movement, then you're going to check this box above to see what's coming up next. All right, so let's begin. Go ahead and grab your elastic tubing, and our first movement today is a sumo deadlift high pull. So depending on if you have the band or the tube, and whether or not you have handles, that really doesn't matter. What you just want to do is make sure that you're going to go nice and wide to get that sumo position. And as you notice, when the band is beneath your feet, you're going to actually feel a bit of resistance in the glute, right in the right place. And then I would recommend crossing the band over like this. And then from this position, we're actually already creating some resistance for the lower body. We're going to go ahead and fold forward, hinging at the hip, just until we feel that pull in the back. And then as soon as we stand up, we're going to pull with the elbows up. So again, we're going to fold forward, and then as we exhale, we pull with the elbows up, making sure that we're separating the two movements, but not lagging in between. All right, athletes, are you ready? Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so really important here is that you find your pace. And again, you're gonna know very soon whether or not you've got the right resistance today. What's super important though, is that if you're not accustomed to band work, you're gonna notice that it feels a little bit different than dumbbells. So the resistance actually increases as the tension increases, which is really another reason why we want to add band work into our routines. The dumbbell just gives you one steady weight throughout the full range of movement around the joint, whereas when you are using a band, the more that you shorten that muscle or you flex that muscle, the greater the resistance is. And so you're building up strength in a different area of the muscle and length of the muscle than you normally would. All right, let's finish this up and then break. Okay, next, go ahead and now wrap this around your back here. And what you want to make sure is that you've got a good resistance when you extend your legs. Let's go ahead and get into a split squat position. And as we split squat, we're going to go ahead and do a press. And so I already feel like this is not tight enough for me. Super easy to adjust and just keep going. So do the same thing. Make sure that as you have your full extension here, your hands are together, you actually are feeling some really nice tension. And what's beautiful about this movement, and especially with band work, is that you also want to keep tension throughout the full movement. So here I've got tension. As I bring my arms back, I've got tension. And so the muscle is working throughout the whole movement because there's constant tension there. All right, good work. Now, we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side in just a moment and add a curl, but we're actually gonna change the position of that flexion. So go ahead and place that band under the foot. And now this time, we're gonna come into our split squat, but in the top position is when we curl, because if I were to do this here, do you see all that lag? So wanna make sure that I'm gonna do this in the top position. Again, I've got that opportunity also to increase the resistance just by making the band a little bit tighter, increasing the tension.
Super important that every single time you come down and you bring your knee to the floor, that you're super mindful of how you're bringing your knee to the floor. We don't want to create any other additional injuries, and just continue to exhale as you stand, really getting in tune with your body, making sure that you've got a straight back, and then trying to keep tension in the band the whole entire time. Okay, just a few more reps here. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, now go ahead now, get a nice wide position. We're gonna get into a skater squat on the left leg. We're gonna go ahead and place that band under the foot. And now we're gonna keep that core nice and engaged as we go ahead and rotate through the midline. So super important here that you're driving the hips back, really exhaling and matching your breath with the movement. So continue to breathe here, continue to stay connected. And you'll notice also that only as we stand up and we start to get into that rotation that we start to create tension on the band. So that's totally fine. Again, you have the opportunity to go ahead and try to increase that tension. It's a super quick adjustment. Just make sure that, again, you're driving those hips back. Continue to breathe here through the movement. You got this, athlete. Almost done here. 5 more seconds. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, now go ahead, switch sides now. Make sure that you're gonna set yourself up so that you have the same tension on both sides, and just feel it before we get started. Adjust through the tubing. Go ahead and drive those knees back, hips back. Continue to stay focused and connected to the breath. That's it, you got this. How is this feeling so far? I'm so sure that you're already starting to feel the full body. And this is what I love about doing these movements, because it's impossible to isolate one body part at a time. But instead what we're doing is really engaging the entire body. We're working the lower body, working the core, and even working the arms. And again, my favorite thing about band work and why I love to incorporate band work is because there is low impact and yet a lot of resistance, and we get to target the muscle in a very different place. All right, now let's finish this off. Just a few more seconds here. And time. All right, amazing. Now let's go ahead and make sure we balance out that back. Let's get on the floor here. And really important that you don't feel any strain in the low back. So go ahead and place the band around your feet. You can increase resistance here by crossing it over. And now pull the shoulder blades back and down as you drive the elbows back. Inhale and then exhale as you bring the elbows back, and maybe now get a little bit wider with the feet if you're feeling like the resistance isn't strong enough for you. So that's it. Continue to drive through the breath, increase that resistance, or maybe even reduce it a little bit if you're feeling like it's time to maybe take the load off a little bit. But again, make sure you're not feeling it in your back. You want to keep a nice straight back, especially as you start to fatigue. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. We have that tendency to elevate the shoulders as we start to fatigue. All right, come on, we're finishing it off. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good work, athlete. So proud of you for constantly showing up for you. I love to hear more from you. So if you want to repeat this, go ahead and do it one more time, or check out the other workouts I have for you at the end of this video to complete your training today. So remember, if you've liked this, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, to go ahead and subscribe so that we keep training together. All right, athletes, now let's go refuel, let's go rehydrate, and let's meet up in the next one. All right, now you got this.